The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. With these famous lines of Robert Frost, I would like to welcome you all to this session of English where we are going to discuss a few poetic elements of the English language. Today, we will be discussing about rhyming words and rhyming schemes. Let us see what are rhyming words. Rhyming words are two or more words that have same or similar ending sound. Some examples of rhyming words which we learned in our childhood days: bat, mat, cat, rat, fat, and so on. And some other examples are goat, boat, moat, float, and so on. Here I have taken two lines of a poem. Once I dive into these pages, I may not come out for ages. Children, here you can see the ending word of the first line and the ending word of the second line. Both are having the similar ending. They are rhyming with each other. The syllables are same. So, the two words pages and ages, they end with the same sound. They are rhyming words. Now, tell me children, why do we use rhyming words? Do you know why do we use rhyming words? Actually, we use rhyming words to give a musical component to a poem or the verse, and it makes it easier to remember, and it also enhances the meaning of the poem. And we have often seen that rhyming words usually appear at the end of the line, but it is not always compulsory that it should come at the end of the line. It can come within the line also. There are different types of rhyming words. There are end rhyming, there is slant rhyming, there is internal rhyming, external rhyming. Different types of rhyming words are there. Today we are going to discuss two main types of rhyming words. Those are internal rhyming words and external rhyming words. Let us see what is internal rhyming word. Internal rhyming word, as the word internal itself tells us the meaning. The meaning of internal is something which is inside. So, the internal rhyme or middle rhyme is rhyme that occurs within a single line of a verse or between internal phrase across multiple lines. So, it is not compulsory that rhyming word has to be at the end. It can come within the line. External rhyming words, as the word itself tells, external means outside. So, external rhyming words means a pattern of the word that rhyme at the outside edge of the poem. At the last of the line it appears. The last syllable in the last word of each line in a stanza. Here is an example for each. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary. So you can see here that the words which are rhyming, dreary and weary, here the word dreary is appearing within the line. So this is internal rhyming. Let us see the example of external rhyming. The little waves with their soft white hands erase the footprints in the sands. So here in these two lines you can see that one word has appeared at the end of first line and another word has also appeared at the end of the next line. So these rhyming words, hands and sands, these rhyming words are known as external rhyming words which appears at the end of the line. Now let us see what are rhyming schemes. Rhyming scheme is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem or song. And whenever we mark the rhyming scheme, we use alphabets to mark it. And if the line rhymes with the same tone or same type of syllable, we will give it the same alphabet. Here I have taken an example of ABAB rhyming scheme from To Athena Who May Command Him Anything by Robert Herrick. Bid me to weep and I will weep, while I have eyes to see, and having none yet I will keep a heart to weep for thee. So children, here you can see that I have written the ending words with different color here. So here you can see the last word of first line and the last word of third line. Weep and keep are rhyming with each other. In the same way, second line's last word and the last line's last word, see and thee, these are rhyming with each other. So how we are going to mark it? We will be marking it as weep as A, see as B, because weep and see, these are not rhyming. So we are using different alphabet, A and B. Then again, keep and weep, they are rhyming with each other. So again we will be using alphabet A. In the similar way, D and C, these are rhyming. So we will be marking it as alphabet B. Now the very famous rhyme which we enjoy singing even now also. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. So children, you all know this rhyme very well and you might have recited it many times in your life. So that's why I have taken this example so that it becomes easy for you to understand. Here you can see that star and R, these two are rhyming. High and sky, these are rhyming, and in the similar way again star and R are rhyming. Now let us mark it. Star and R, we are marking it as A and A. High and sky, these are similar, so we are marking it as B and B. Again star and R are same and we already marked it here with A and A, so we are marking it here A and A. So the rhyming scheme for this famous rhyme is what? A A B B A A. The rhyming scheme is A A B B A A. Here I have taken one more poem, December Leaves by K. Starbird. I will recite the poem and you try to mark the rhyming scheme of this poem. The fallen leaves are cornflakes that fill the lawn's wide dish, and night and noon the wind's a spoon that stirs them with a swish. The sky's a silver sifter, a sifting white a slow, on crisp brown flakes that gently shakes the sugar known as snow. Can you mark it? Yes. Here we will begin with the first line, the last word of all the lines we will go through: cornflakes, dish, noon, spoon and swish. So here we see that cornflakes and dish, are they rhyming? No, they aren't. Noon and spoon? Yes, they are. Swish and spoon? No. But is this rhyming with any other word? Yes, dish. So now let us see how we will mark it. Cornflakes, we will mark it as A. Dish, though it is not rhyming, we will give the next alphabet B. Then noon, that is also not rhyming with first two lines, so we will give it as C. The next word spoon is rhyming with noon. So again what we will mark here? We will mark it as C itself. And this swish is rhyming with dish. So we will mark it as B. So the rhyming scheme for this stanza is A, B, C, C, B. In the similar way, the next stanza, sifter, slow, flakes, shakes and snow. Let us mark this. Sifter, A. Slow is not rhyming with sifter, so we will mark it as B. Flakes, C. Shakes and flakes are rhyming, so we will be marking it again as C. And the last word snow is rhyming with slow, so we will mark it as B. So the rhyming scheme of this stanza is also what? A, B, C, C, B. The rhyming scheme of this poem is A, B, C, C, B, A, B, C, C, B. So children, you have to remember one thing, that there is no format for making the rhyming scheme. It depends on poet, that how he is framing his lines. It depends on his expression, it depends on his imaginary skills and the words which he is using there. So the rhyming scheme, it is not always compulsory that it has to be A, B, B, C, C or A, B, C, A, B, C. It can be in any form, A, B, C, D, then E, F, A, B, C, D. It can go like that. Hope you all understood how to do the rhyming schemes. See you in the next section. Bye. Thank you.